Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to SMD Viewpoint. These are viewpoints from a single, married, and divorced lady. We are here showing you episode 7. Yay, 777. That's our lucky number. And I want to introduce our panel today. We have the single lady, Kimberly Sims.
What's up, everybody?
We have the married lady, Karen Smith Owens. And we also have myself, Jacqueline White, the divorced lady in the house. Hey, everyone. I just want to say we're a little bit late, but I do want to recognize Thanksgiving, even though we're a couple of days late. I want to just say a little thing about myself. I'm very, very thankful to have shared Thanksgiving holiday with my daughters and my grandsons. We had an awesome time. And I just want to thank God for his many blessings. And um, that's what I have to say about that. Kim or Karen, you guys have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm thankful for I got a chance to spend the day with my mom and dad. Everybody knows my biological father passed not too long ago, but my stepfather, who is just like my biological father, is still living, and my mom. And I got a chance to spend most of the day with them. So that was a blessing. And of course, my son. But yeah, that was a blessing.
Of course.
Well, I
Okay.
start off my Thanksgiving Day with my sisters because I'm the only one in town of my mother children left. So we start off cooking in the kitchen. It's been a hobby since my mom passed away a couple of years ago. That we get on the phone and we all start our cooking. So we've been cooking and what have you. And then I fed my family and added stuff to the menu or whatever. So it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, had a good
Okay.
day. Very
Yeah.
grateful, thankful to have another holiday.
Right, amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, and as I said, we are in episode 7, and we decided collectively to talk about traditional marriage and open marriages. And my thoughts basically about a traditional marriage is what my mother and father had when they were still married. We had the typical, white picket fence. My father, he worked in a white collar facility. My mom, she stayed at home, did the cooking and the cleaning and all of that. And I don't think that there was any thought of open marriage. If there was a thing back then in the 70s, 60s, and the 70s and 80s, um, that's traditional to me is one man, one woman, no outside influences, no cheating, no flirtation, no nothing, like that. As far as an open marriage, no. An open marriage to me means you have the opportunity to go outside your marriage. And if, me being the woman, having my husband say that it's so, for me to say that it's okay for my husband to go out there and be with another woman, and I'm supposed to be okay with that. I don't think that's traditional. Um, and coming as a divorced woman, I don't believe that my husband cheated. I know I didn't go outside the marriage, but I think it would be detrimental. Um, that's my take on that in a nutshell. I'm like absolutely unequivocally against it. Yeah,
I have
you're
been
all frowned
okay.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm all frowned up.
Yeah, that's you.
So, I mean, what do you ladies think? What do you ladies think about traditional versus open? How would you approach that if, like, say, your husband or your significant other say, "Hey, let's do an open marriage"?
My answer is kind of long-winded, so I'm gonna let Karen
Okay.
give her view first.
No, as you know, yeah, I'm married, so I'm the married, but I
Mhm.
prefer traditional. this open stuff that's been open to me in the past couple of months or years or what have you, that I watched a show where the Red Table Talk. Am I plugging them? Well, anyway, they had that on there. I didn't know this was a thing. This is a thing. I'm like, this is a real thing. You know, a few years ago, you heard about the sister wives and all that stuff, but I'm like, this stuff is really popular now. But that's not what I would call a traditional marriage, which is a man and a woman, and it's ordained by God, because I truly believe that God is his covenant, and this is what he wants man to do. He created Adam, then he gave him Eve, and they became one. That's what I think it is, and that's what it's gonna stay. All this other stuff is nonsense. It really is nonsense. But I heard, but there are just some people who, and the couple that I heard talk about it, like, yeah, they are married, but they still have a girlfriend, boyfriend on the side. I'm like, I guess everybody's one big happy family. Or I've watched where the couples are bringing in someone else into their home, and they're all together, and just like the sister wives or whatever. You know, I'm with Jackie. I'm with the traditional. I'm sticking with the same. And as I know, it's because it's only, I truly believe marriage is a covenant between man, the woman, and God. So it's ordained by God. It's his thing. So that's where I'm leaving it at. Okay, now let's hear Kim's long-winded.
That's right. Okay, so first of all, I'm single. I'm single and I've never been married. So first thing I want to bring up is when you go to fill out an application, especially any government form, what does it ask you? It asks you if you're single, if you're married, if you're divorced, or if you're widowed. I'll come back to that later. Secondly, I wanted to find out, I've never been married, so let me see what the dictionary says about marriage. It says a legally and socially sanctioned union by which two people make their relationship public, official, and permanent. It is the joining of two people in a bond that punitively lasts until death or divorce. Okay, I haven't done any of that. I'm single. I've never committed myself to anybody, on paper or through God. So when you talk about traditional marriage, I believe that traditional marriage is a legal and a spiritual bond between two people that's supposed to last, like it says, until death do you part, or of course, into divorce. We keep saying traditional marriage is new, but really it's not.
No, it's not new. No, not new at all.
It's not new. The first traditional marriage was a man or a husband and a wife separating and never getting a divorce, but going on about their lives with other people. So open marriage ain't new.
Right.
And some of y'all doing it right now. So it's nothing new. Never being married. So my last name has been Sims all my life. My social security card or number has been the same since I was born. In a way, traditional marriage, for somebody to have that much communication and trust between two people, to me, I'm like, well, damn, that's kind of cool in a sense. But when I look at being a woman and what I have to go through to get married and the changes that I have to go through, well, we can still do that single, right? Because single means we don't have a legal or a spiritual bond. So we can just agree amongst us two to, if we need to write a will to say, okay, this gonna get this, who gonna get that, who gonna do what, we can do that. And then we can also see who we want to see and still be committed to one another verbally without having to go through legally and spiritually going to God saying, hey, we're one, but we're gonna go do something else on the side. So even though it sounds cool. And it sounds like, well, damn, you can never really get tired of your partner because you out there doing what you need to do. It almost, to me, sounds like the coward way out, though. If you're don't get married. What you gonna get married for? There are all types of legal ways that you can make sure that somebody is taken care of when you all get older. If somebody passed, if during that time, if you both can buy the house, so you can still do everything without having to go before God and legally go downtown and sign papers to say you're married to be able to still cheat. That's what I feel about open marriage and traditional marriage, by the way.
I want to add a little bit to that as far as the open marriage part. I feel like if you want to be open, a man, woman, another man, or whatever, like you said, don't get married. If you want somebody else in the bedroom, I could be somebody else. You Jackie on Tuesday, you got Jackie on Tuesday. If you want Jacqueline on Wednesday, I give you Jacqueline on Wednesday. Hell, if you want Aquanetta on Thursday, I could be Aquanetta. I'm gonna put on my red wig, and stiletto heels or whatever. I can give you somebody different every day if that's what you want. So open marriage, again, that is not for me. And that's just, that's my opinion as far as, that. And also, women, we are, well, a lot of women, we're naturally jealous. So I can go into this, my husband or significant other, whatever, it's like, hey, let's try this open marriage thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. But I know me, 6 months down the line, you on the phone setting up a date with another woman or whatever, and I'm supposed to be cool with this now, and you doing this, I'm gonna get jealous. It's gonna be a wrap. And then he's gonna be like, well, baby, you said you was cool with them.
You
no,
agree, right?
Yeah. Nah, bro. I'm done. I
Mhm.
can't do that. Just the thought of the person that committed themselves to me is going out being with somebody else. I just can't do it.
Mhm.
So I do believe in the traditional,
Mhm.
the what is it? The house, 2 cars, a dog, picket fence, 2 kids, whatever. That's what I believe in if you're gonna get married.
Right.
Maybe old fashioned, but that's how I feel, traditional relationships or traditional marriage, should be. So
Mhm.
And exactly.
And go ahead.
Yep, and I would just think, I don't even know why get married if it's gonna be open. What's the point? Like you're saying, you might as well stay single. You do you, you do me. And even in single relationships, you're not legally bound. So if you feel like you need to go see
Right.
Johnny on the other side of Bobby, okay, but it's not, that's not a marriage to me. Yeah, open is not a marriage. I don't know. I mean, but they are married and they do, but that's not a true marriage. That's not something
right.
true. But being single and ready to mingle, just be single and have the boundaries, because you can set whatever boundaries you need to have. As Kim, as you were saying, like, I ain't got to do the same thing. We legally can do everything else. I have my house, you have your house. We, we can do whatever we need to do separately.
Straight now.
Get together when we need to get together,
All right.
But
Right.
no, I'm in it to win it. Joined by God, and everything's not perfect. We all go through ups and downs. It's still a learning period, a growing period, and it's, but we still in it to win it. But ain't nobody else coming in. If they coming in now, that's another subject. Now, how, if something was to happen, well, how will I accept it? That's a whole nother show or what have you. But that's something different. But
Right.
But we're growing, and it has to be communication. We got to figure out what's going on or what's going wrong
Mhm.
before you even decide. It has to be the signs that I have to stay open to, as what is
Mhm.
pulling us apart, if there is a part, to let somebody slip in. Because people are watching and paying attention. So we got to keep
Mhm.
our game on, that we're communicating, that we're talking, that we can say, hey, something ain't right. You pulling apart, I'm pulling apart. Let's
Mhm.
make this marriage work, because
Mhm.
we signed up for divorce is not an option. And
Yeah.
I know many people may say that, may have said that too, but we're working towards that. And but
Mhm.
communication is the key. Communication is key.
Mhm.
Have to communicate what's going on. Yeah,
Right.
what's going on. But
Mhm.
Kimberly, there's nothing wrong. It's not a lot of work to change your last name. I mean,
Ain't a lot of work, but I'm just meaning
but you
we
do
as
have to do
women,
it. You do have to
yeah,
do it. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
as women
Yeah.
are the ones that have to do all these changes, and then we gonna turn around and still act like we did when I could have kept my last name the same. Is my point.
But
So
you can
yeah,
get your
but
name back.
I could have,
You
huh?
can, you can get it back.
Well, I don't want to get married to have to get divorced to get it back. That's
Right.
I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do
I
all
know
that.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not that's too much work. So,
well, take
yeah.
it from a divorcee. Take it, I went through all of that to get my name changed, and all of the driver's license and everything changed. And when we got divorced, the judge did grant me the right to have my maiden name back. But I was like, do I want to go through all that again? Do I want to go back to changing my driver's license and
Mhm.
doing all of that stuff? So no, I still have my married name. Now, if I want to go back to changing it to my maiden name, it's still on paper saying that I can. But
Mhm.
my last name is my married last name is White. It's been White ever since we got married in what 2000. When did we get married? 2001. So it's been White since then. Why change it now? Why even go through all the hassle of changing it now? But
Mhm.
one of you ladies made a point about being single and able to do what you um want to do. And people have asked me many times, do you think you want to get married again? And I'm like, I don't know. I've been divorced for what, almost 11 years now. And I feel like, and I'm not taking anything away from being married, but I feel like I can come and go as I please. I can see who I want to see. I can go on vacations, without having to consult with someone else. So, and that, I guess that goes along the lines of being open. So, um, and Karen, also you mentioned something about it being another topic for another show, but I know Kim and I had discussed talking about how would you feel if you found out, and I'm not addressing this to you, Karen, but just
Mhm.
in a general, how would you feel if you found out that your partner um, did commit, well, adultery or
Infidelity.
infidelity? You know,
Mhm.
Would you be willing to forgive and forget, or would you be willing to take them back? Would you be willing to,
Mhm.
what steps would you take? Would it be like, nope, can't do it. It's over it. It's a wrap.
No,
What do you
well,
think about
it would all depends on what stage are we at now? Here is year
Mhm.
23. Now had it happened year 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'd be like,
Right.
Mhm.
it's a wrap, dude. I ain't signed up for this. But now we're
Mhm.
year 23, as I know
Mhm.
communication is the key, and I don't really want to go back out there. So
Yeah.
I am very forgiving. I will definitely put on the Jesus that's in me to say, okay, Lord, you and I gonna work through this. We gonna work through this because times are so different now. Times are so different. But I would it all depends on what step this happened in. But as of now, if it was to happen, it was like, okay, let's see where the breakdown was. Let's go to therapy. Let's do whatever we need to do to get through this time. And what do you need to do to change? What do I need to do to change? So we'll be doing a lot of therapy to get past that. and
Right.
hope and believing and trusting that the Lord will lead us in the direction of staying together and forgiveness, because this is a form of forgiveness. And you know, I can go back to the Bible when Hagar married a prostitute and the Lord told him to do that. And then that's a whole nother story, but he did that and she did what she needed to do, but they were stayed together. So there's examples of me knowing that you can make it afterwards. So it's like, but this came with maturity. Now, had it happened earlier, it'd be like, oh, it's done deal, over with, we move on. But now with maturity, no, I would absolutely have to hang in there and figure out what went wrong. You know, communication, back to communication. Once again, all relationships starts with, begins with, and have to keep the lines of communications open. Yep, lines of communications open.
Yeah, that's true. So being single, again, so what we have when you are single and you are not married is a verbal communication between the two of us. And trust, because if it takes a lot of trust to believe that somebody comes to you and says, hey, I want us to be together and I'm not going to see nobody else, and then you don't see anybody else. So we have to trust each other and believe that that is going to happen. And I believe that in a relationship with a single person is, once that's broken, it may not so much even be communication as it is trust. And, you know, because you said this and I said this. But how I look at it as is, because we're not married, I'm not going to say cheating for me was the end all just because we weren't legally or spiritually bound to one another. So until that happens, you're still technically single.
Yep.
Single. Okay. You just broke the trust between us. It wasn't between me, you, and God. It wasn't between me and you and the government. It was just between me and you. Now, in saying that, if anybody knows me, you know, since we talking about the Bible, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What I found out being a woman is that most men can't handle what they dish. You asked me to be your woman. You said you wanted to be exclusive. You go outside of that exclusivity to do what you want to do. When Kim finds out, oh, okay. So Kim looks at it as, because we're not married, you just broke the agreement between me and you. Oh, so we cool. We good. Because guess what? Kim is now free. I ain't breaking nothing. It's already broken. Kim is free to go out and do whatever it is Kim want to do too. And we can still be a couple because we're not legally bound. We're not spiritually bound to one another. And we can still be a couple and be good. Now, if you can't handle it, well, maybe you shouldn't have done it. That's how I look at it.
Now, coming from a divorced lady who's been married, I believe I could forgive. And like Karen said, it depends on how long I've been in this relationship. It also depends, for me, it also depends on the type of relationship that he may have had with this other person. If it was just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay. But when you start getting mentally involved with another person, emotionally involved with another person, there's a little bit more to it than that. That means they're connected. That means they've been talking. That means they've been interacting with each other. That means he's probably been talking to her about our relationship. You know, oh, woe is me. Oh, you know, she's not doing this, or she's not doing that, or she's too much of this. When you start talking to another person about your significant other, you're starting to get emotionally and mentally attached. So I don't think that I will be able to forgive in that aspect, because now you're starting to have feelings for this person. Now, if it was just body on body contact, okay, if we've been together for a while, I will probably be able to forgive. But once you get to that emotional, nah, bro, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So
once you found out it was more, so if it wasn't a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, it was more of a, he been messing around with her for 3 to 6 months or more. That's when because that's when the emotional attachment would start. A couple of times, one time, couple times, probably no emotional connection for him or her, whoever that is. But once you start doing, 3 months and up, that you've been, seeing this person and sneaking around with this person, then yeah, I can see an emotional connection between you and another person evolving, and coming in and also helping to destroy what you have with your significant other. I know I was watching, there's a show called Dear Wifey, Lateris, I want to say Whitfield. He's a playwright, writer, and all of that. He has a show, and he was talking about when he cheated, and he said when he got home, he felt dirty, and he felt like his wife could just see, like right through him. But yet he continued to cheat due to some type of brokenness that he had. So if you cheat and it's really not for you, you know what I'm saying? You get out there, because everybody, I don't really call it a mistake, because I don't believe nobody slip and fall and they, fall in somebody else's, that ain't no mistake. You you did that thing. Mistakes are, oops, I failed, or oops, I accidentally dropped that. Those are mistakes. You had a choice. That was a choice. That wasn't a mistake. You had a choice. Now, was it a bad choice? Yes. But was it a mistake? No. Mistakes, is something that unintentionally happens. Cheating intentionally happens. You made a choice to do that. Now, you could be truly sorry for it. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't want to do, I shouldn't have done that. Or you can be like, hell, I'm gonna keep doing it until, I get caught, and then I'm sorry. So,
right.
So I just think it takes a lot just to have a relationship. I mentioned being single, but even single people have relationships. We form relationships is what starts a marriage. You have to be in a relationship and get to know somebody and trust somebody enough to be able to say, I do. Enough to be able to ask, will you marry me? So you started as two single people that met, formed a relationship, and you decided you wanted this relationship to grow into something that was going to be until death do us part. So when you look at breaking trust, and especially in the early stages, a lot of time that lingers on for the man or the woman that that you cheated on into the marriage. People don't forget. They forgive. But they don't forget.
Right.
It's true. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to put it. So
yeah. So anyway, I need to just stop and think about what cheating is. I was watching TikTok and a guy said, before you get in a relationship, ask questions. Well, what is cheating in you? Because two people can have, believe it or not, two different answers to that. And we all think that we all are on the same page just because that's what everybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that, so that's got to be it. But no, that's why communication is key, because that could be something totally different for somebody else. And then when you get into the relationship and you ain't talked about it, now you feel like you've been wronged and they trying to figure out why, so, but that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, to me, cheating could be you entertaining another person over the phone, you having conversations, you're laughing, joking, and
Shit.
yeah, and then I walk in the room and you turn your phone off. Y'all may not have done anything physically, but now you're doing things, to lead up to that point.
Right.
Yes.
So, but a guy or another person, the person I'm dealing with, he may not think that. He may be like, well, I'm just, this is my own girl. Okay.
Yeah.
And if that is, I should know something about her.
know
So
something.
I should know. No problem
Right.
having homegirls and homeboys. We should know who each other is and should be saying,
Right.
I'm on the phone talking to my homeboy. He said, what's up? I'm on my
Right.
phone talking. I have no problem with that, but we should know each other. And I should know what that relationship is all about. I need to know who is she and what's going on, and okay, I'm cool with it as long as she know ain't nothing going on, as long as we understand that. But we do have friends. We are grown and we can make friends, and we have best friends of the opposite sex or what have you. And we should be grown enough to understand that that's exactly what that relationship is about. Not everybody's trying to get in everybody draw. So
Right.
but it should be established. But if you flip over that phone when I walk in,
Right.
something ain't right.
Right.
Something ain't right.
Right.
Yep. That's good. But it all back to communication, y'all. That's all relationships are, no matter what they are, however they start, it's still a relationship. Even a man in marriage is still a relationship that you have to cultivate, grow, move forward. It still has to keep moving forward. As long as we're alive, we have to be going somewhere together.
Right.
Very good, Karen. Very good. Any final thoughts from you, Kim? Miss Single Lady, do unto others
Single lady,
as
they do unto you.
Why did I know you was gonna say that? Why did I know you was gonna say that?
Because it's the truth. That's why. Because it's the truth. No, that's it. No, that's it for me. For those who are thinking about marriage, period, I think that is something that you need to really sit down and talk to your mate about, and make sure that you all are on the same page. Because like you mentioned, Jackie, a lot of people say one thing, but do another. So they say, okay, I'm okay with us having an open marriage. And then the minute they get married and it's an open marriage, now they got a problem. Now the other person looking like, what? But we had said, you ain't going along with what we said. So I don't know if you all remember, I don't know if it was in the first episode or the second one, I said most people don't say what they mean what they say. If you're going to get married, you need to be able to say what you mean and mean what you say. So that way there is no confusion, and you can start your relationship that will lead into a marriage, that will lead into a union unto God and the states and government in the right direction. If you're withholding or you're just agreeing to be agreeing, you're going to have issues and problems. So let's not do that. Let's just be honest, talk about it. And if you cool with open marriage, and the person you getting married to cool with open marriage, and so be it. You know what I'm saying? If you want traditional marriage and your significant other want an open marriage, so y'all got a problem already. So that ought to be a right there. Don't let me stop. let me quit because with no, we don't believe in the same things. And then of course, if you believe in a traditional marriage and your spouse do too, then more power to everybody that wants to get married. I'm done.
You say, that's the wrap. I'm
That's a
done.
wrap. I'm done.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Great episode, ladies.
Mhm.
Great episode, ladies. And once again, this is SMD Viewpoints. We appreciate everyone who's liked, commented, shared, subscribed. Please tell a friend, show a friend, talk about it with friends, so we can get our viewers up.
Yep.
Right.
Comment below how the conversation for you. Comment below. Give us something to
Yeah.
feedback. Give us feedback and
Give
your
us feedback.
opinions of
Right.
Give us
Feedback.
feedback.
Y'all do all this talking on Facebook and stuff. Y'all be
Right.
writing all this stuff on Facebook. Come on, y'all can do it. Y'all can do it for SMD Viewpoints.
Yeah, right,
Come on,
right. Because
y'all.
I know you got something to say. So
Talk
go
to
ahead.
us.
You got something to say.
Yep. Talk to
I
us.
know you got something to say.
Yep.
So, but quickly before you end, Jackie, starting in December, we are going to be, if anybody wants their business for the holidays and you've got a special that you want to announce, that we'll do it, your product, your business on our next show. We'll pick maybe 2 to 3 people if it's short and quick who have businesses, and we'll shout your name out and your business on our show. So
Yep.
KMT.
right.